Some great music comes out of our small country. There's a wealth of talent at the forefront. But let's not forget the wealth of talent that's hidden away. Whether it be a random lad or lassie who's a virtuoso on fiddle locked away in the middle of Roscommon, or a legend on the banjo who just enjoys playing in the local pub every Friday. Also, some solo artists and groups can take a backseat because the genre of music just isn't favoured by the majority of people around the country or even the world. We're talking about folk music and trad, with a bit of fusion thrown in there as well. But basically bands that are championing Irish music in some form or another. They're not like Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, or Coldplay even, who, let's be honest, write some amazing songs and again, not so amazing songs. But they do appeal to the masses more so than the Pogues. So here we are with my list of the top 12 folk, trad, fusion, Irish groups. Yeah, so why did I choose 12 and not 10? I don't know, to be honest. It just turned out that way. But either way, I think you'll all agree with me that they are great in their own right, and you'll probably disagree with my choice for number 1. Or maybe you won't. There's only one way to find out. Horslips is an Irish Celtic rock band, often called the founding fathers of Celtic rock, recognised for fusing traditional Irish airs with rock music. Their original career lasted from 1970 to 1980, followed by revivals in 2004 and 2006, and 2009 to 2012, with their final shows taking place in August 2012. Their key albums include The Tawn, released in 1973. While commercial success was limited during their main run, they did achieve some international chart success, like with the Book of Invasions. This one reached UK number 39, Aliens reached the US number 98, and The Man Who Built America reached the US number 155. Now, being ranked 12th on the list doesn't mean they're at the bottom of the pile. That's something I want you to take away from this. Just because they're down the list doesn't mean that they're less impactful than other bands, right? But they're ranked 12th on the list. They're a vital historical pioneer of 1970s Celtic rock. They were really the first band to successfully blend traditional Irish music with hard rock, even though their commercial success was not as widespread as later fusion acts. The Bothy Band is a seminal Irish traditional music band that, despite a short initial run from 1975 to 78, during which they released 3 highly influential studio albums, and they became one of the most revered and technically brilliant groups of the genre. They're renowned for their exhilarating and dynamic approach to traditional tunes. The band featured an incredible lineup of musicians, including Donal Lunny, Triona O'Donnell, and Micheál O'Donnell, who fused the raw energy of the folk revival with complex arrangements. The group recently delighted fans by reuniting for concerts in 2023 and 2024, although some recent appearances were cancelled to accommodate the recovery of Donal Lunny following surgery. They're ranked number 11 here for their short, explosive run in the mid-1970s, right? They are revered by musicians for their peerless technical brilliance and dynamic style of instrumental traditional music, making them incredibly influential within the genre itself, despite achieving limited mainstream sales. Danann emerged in 1975 from County Galway, quickly establishing themselves as a premier force in the second wave of the Irish traditional music revival, following the path set by groups like Planxty and the Chieftains. Founded by the exceptionally virtuosic fiddler Frankie Gavin and bouzouki player Alec Finn, the group became renowned for its high-energy, technically brilliant instrumental arrangements of jigs, reels and slow airs, firmly rooted in the Connemara regional styles of playing. Crucially, Danann acted as a vital proving ground and launchpad for some of Ireland's most celebrated female vocalists. Their rotating rosters of singers included the highly influential Dolores Keane, who was their first vocalist, and later massively successful Mary Black, showcasing the band's mastery in accompanying both instrumental fireworks and powerful balladry. Their commitment to pure traditional music combined with a willingness to experiment, as seen in their instrumental cover of the Beatles' Hey Jude, cemented their reputation as technical masters who broadened the scope of the genre. They were ranked 10th here for being a pivotal force in the 1970s revival, known for their instrumental excellence and role as a launching pad for elite vocal talent. Featuring masters like Frankie Gavin, they set a new high standard for technical virtuosity in pure traditional music, and directly shaped the solo careers of major artists like Mary Black herself. Moving Hearts was an explosive and politically outspoken Irish Celtic rock band formed in 1981 by Donal Lunny and Christy Moore from Planxty, and active during the early to mid 1980s with various reunions thereafter that. The band pioneered an innovative sound that fused traditional Irish music with rock, jazz and folk, notably incorporating the uilleann pipes played by Davy Spillane, alongside Keith Donnell's saxophone and electric instruments. After their debut album featured Moore's distinctive politically charged vocals on songs addressing the conflict in Northern Ireland and global issues like nuclear war, the band evolved into a critically acclaimed, mostly instrumental unit following Moore's departure in 1982, but culminating in the influential 1985 album, The Storm. They're ranked number 9 here for pioneering a complex blend of Irish traditional music with rock, jazz and explicit political commentary in the 1980s. They were formed by members of Planxty. Their work was critically acclaimed for its innovation and boundary-pushing sound, particularly in its instrumental arrangements. Honestly, with Moving Hearts being my personal favourite on the list, I have to be as unbiased as possible and not put them at number 1, even though I really want to. Just like when I did with the video about the most popular Irish song and my struggle to avoid putting Orinoco Flow at number 1. Anyway, they're both number 1 in my eyes. Planxty was an exceptionally influential Irish folk music supergroup that fundamentally transformed Irish traditional music through its active runs in the 70s, early 80s and early 2000s, before finishing up in 2005. They were formed in 1972. The group featured legendary figures like Christy Moore, Donal Lunny and Andy Irvine, and became renowned for its highly energetic arrangements that integrated the bouzouki and mandolin into traditional tunes, setting a new standard for the folk revival. Their work, including their iconic 1973 debut album Planxty, laid the groundwork for countless subsequent acts and led to the formation of associated groups like LAPD and Usher's Island, cementing their reputation as one of the most pivotal groups in the history of the genre. They're ranked number 8 here for being the most pivotal artistic catalyst of the 1970s folk revival. Featuring legends like Christy Moore and Donal Lunny, as we mentioned, they innovated by incorporating instruments like the bouzouki and set a new high standard for technical and arranging complexity that influenced nearly every folk act that followed. Mary Black is an iconic Irish singer who is widely regarded as the Queen of Irish folk, known for her exceptionally clear voice and her ability to be a master interpreter of both traditional folk and fine contemporary material, spanning from the 1980s all the way to the 2000s. After gaining experience with groups like the Danann, she launched a highly successful solo career, earning her the Irish Recorded Music Award, the IRMA, for Best Female Artist multiple times. And she also released 7 platinum-selling albums, including the groundbreaking No Frontiers in 1989, which spent over a year on the Irish charts and significantly expanded her reach into Europe and the US. Although she embarked on her The Last Call tour for her final major US visit in 2014, she has continued to perform in Ireland and remains a seminal figure whose influence is carried on by her musically inclined children, Danny O'Reilly of the Coronas and solo artist Roisin O. She's ranked number 7 here for her status as the Queen of Irish folk. During the 1980s and the 1990s, she achieved substantial commercial success with multiple platinum-selling albums, distinguishing herself through her clear, emotive vocals and masterful interpretation of contemporary folk material. That's yourself. Grand, look, do you know what? I've got something I wanted to propose to you there. I know it's a wee bit selfish, but I just have to ask. See, I have this goal with the channel to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's very ambitious now, to be honest with you. But look, if you subscribe and like the video And also drop a comment down below as well. I tell you what, you do that for me, I'll write a song on the mandolin for you. It won't be very good, but it'll be especially for you, and that's a great deal in my opinion. But look, I won't keep you any longer. Please do enjoy the rest of the video. Clannad is an Irish band specialising in genres like traditional Irish music, folk, folk rock, Celtic and pop. They were active from the 1970s until 2024. Their albums include Magical Ring in 1983 and Macalla in 1985. They are famous for this absolute banger of a tune, Theme from Harry's Game. Clannad is widely regarded as having helped popularise traditional Irish music globally as well. Also on top of that as well, the internationally renowned musician Enya was a past member of the group. Her distinctive vocal style and ethereal sound later propelled her to global stardom as a solo artist. The band had also sadly seen the passing of two of its cherished members, Padraig and Noel Duggan. These losses have deeply impacted the group and its fans, marking significant moments in Clannad's long and distinguished journey. They're ranked number 6 for their early innovation in blending traditional Irish music with ethereal pop and new age sounds. This commercial approach led to international chart success, notably with the hit Theme from Harry's Game, and provided the launchpad for the solo career of their former member, Enya. Christy Moore is a solo Irish singer-songwriter known for combining driving rhythms on guitar and bodhrán with slower ballads. A pivotal figure in the revival of traditional Irish music, he co-founded Planxty, known for innovative traditional tunes and moving hearts as well. Through these influential groups, he profoundly impacted Irish music, inspiring many and captivating global audiences. A major event occurred in 2004 in October, when Christy Moore and his driver were stopped and detained for about 2 hours by special branch officers at the Welsh port of Holyhead and questioned about the content and lyrics of his songs under the Prevention of Terrorism Act 2002. He's ranked number 5 here for his status as arguably the most important and enduring living folk singer-songwriter. His significance is rooted in his powerful social commentary, consistent integrity, and immense domestic reverence, making his cultural contribution foundational to modern Irish musical identity. The Pogues, an iconic English Celtic punk band. They carved a unique niche in the music world by blending masterfully the raw energy of punk with the rich, melodic traditions of Irish folk. Their distinctive sound and rebellious spirit propelled them through 3 significant periods of activity, from 1982 to 1996 and 2001 to 2014. But recently as well, they've taken a return to the stage in 2024. Undoubtedly, their most celebrated and enduring contribution to popular culture is the seasonal hit Fairy Tale of New York. This bittersweet ballad, a staple of holiday playlists, gained renewed prominence and surged to number 1 spot following the profound loss of the band's charismatic frontman, Shane MacGowan. The death of Shane MacGowan in November 2023 marked the most major event in the band's history, leaving a significant void in the hearts of fans and the music industry as well. In a poignant tribute to their late colleague, the remaining members of the Pogues reunited to perform The Parting Glass at his funeral, a moving testament to their shared history and enduring bond. MacGowan's amazing songwriting and his unmistakable voice and magnetic stage presence were central to the Pogues' identity, and his passing prompted a collective reflection on the band's influential legacy. They're ranked number 4 here for achieving the biggest cultural crossover of any act on this list, fusing traditional folk with punk rock to create the highly influential Celtic punk genre. The rebellious energy and global hits like Fairy Tale of New York brought traditional elements to a massive new mainstream audience. If you want to learn more about how the Fairy Tale of New York came to be, check out my other video on it. There's a link down in the description below. But now, let's get on to the top 3. The Clancy brothers and Tommy Makem were arguably the most pivotal group in the history of Irish music, directly responsible for launching the global folk revival from the United States in the late 1950s and the early 1960s. Formed initially by the Clancy brothers themselves, Paddy, Tom and Liam, and their friend Tommy Makem, their fame skyrocketed after an impromptu television performance in 1961 led to a deal with Columbia Records. They became instantly recognisable worldwide, by performing in their iconic hand-knitted Aran sweaters, turning traditional Irish balladry into a mainstream commercial phenomenon. Their vibrant, powerful and deeply emotional presentation of songs like The Wild Rover, Whiskey You're the Divil and The Parting Glass captivated audiences and helped introduce Irish culture to millions of people globally who had no previous connection to it. Their success paved the way for subsequent acts, like the Dubliners and the Chieftains, establishing a clear path for professional Irish music groups to achieve international celebrity. Their impact was so profound, right, that they were considered a major influence on artists as diverse as Bob Dylan and groups of the British folk revival as well. The group continued to perform and record in various configurations until Liam Clancy's passing in 2009, cementing their status as the pioneering figures who transformed Irish folk music from a local tradition into a major international genre. They're ranked number 3 for their foundational role as the genre's first global commercial success. They established the initial worldwide audience and infrastructure for Irish music, directly inspiring and preceding many of the technical masters and cultural ambassadors that followed. The Chieftains, an iconic and profoundly influential Irish traditional folk band. They were formed in Dublin in 1962. Active for over 6 decades until 2023, their virtuosic and almost entirely instrumental sound redefined Irish music. At the heart of their unique sound was Paddy Maloney's masterful playing of the uilleann pipes, along with other traditional instruments like the tin whistle, the fiddle, the bodhrán and harp, propelled Irish music from a niche domestic interest into a major global force. The group's exceptional contributions to Irish culture were formally recognised in 1989 when the Irish government bestowed upon them the esteemed title of Ireland's Musical Ambassadors. Their international acclaim was cemented by numerous accolades, including an impressive 6 Grammy Awards. A pivotal moment in their journey to mainstream success came with their contribution to the soundtrack of Stanley Kubrick's acclaimed film Barry Lyndon. This exposure led to unprecedented international collaborations with a diverse array of artists across various genres. Their legacy includes landmark partnerships with rock legends like the Rolling Stones and Van Morrison, the powerful voice of Sinead O'Connor as well, and even the operatic grandeur of Luciano Pavarotti, showcasing their versatility and universal appeal. The band's enduring journey continued until the passing of their beloved co-founder and leader, Paddy Maloney, in October 2021, marking the end of an extraordinary era in Irish traditional music. They're ranked number 2 here for their pivotal role in taking purely instrumental traditional music to the world stage. They are unmatched in their global critical success, having earned 6 Grammy Awards and the title of Ireland's Musical Ambassadors, setting the highest standard for technical and cultural authenticity. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. On to number 1. The Dubliners were an influential Irish folk band, originally formed in Dublin in 1962 under the name the Ronnie Drew Ballad Group. Their career spanned an impressive 50 years, culminating in their disbandment in 2012. The band carved out a significant niche in the music world, becoming renowned for their vibrant interpretations of traditional Irish street ballads and instrumentals. Among their most celebrated works were the UK chart singles 7 Drunken Nights and The Black Velvet Band, which helped to popularise their distinctive sound internationally. Their enduring impact on folk music was formally recognised in 2012 when they received a prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award at the BBC Radio 2 Folk Awards. Despite their longevity and success, the Dubliners faced considerable challenges, including the loss of several key members over the years. The passing of Luke Kelly in 1984, Ronnie Drew in 2008, and ultimately Barney McKenna in 2012 marked the end of an era. McKenna's death in particular proved to be the catalyst for the band's final decision to cease performing, bringing to a close a rich and storied chapter in Irish music history. But following the band's retirement, the legacy of their music continues with the Dubliners Encore, the official stage show dedicated to celebrating the band's immense contribution. This production was co-created by the last surviving original member, fiddler John Sheehan, alongside the band's longtime record producer Phil Coulter, who acts as a musical director. Featuring a highly talented cast, the Dubliners Encore faithfully captures the energy and pub-style magic of the band in their heyday, ensuring that their classic hits like Whiskey in the Jar, the Black Velvet Band, the Irish Rover continue to be performed in the authentic spirit of the original bad boys of Irish music for audiences today. They're ranked number 1 on the list. They are the most enduringly popular and widely recognised traditional folk group. They had defined that recognisable, energetic style of the folk revival for over 50 years. Their catalogue of standards like Whiskey in the Jar ensures immense, lasting popularity across generations. In my opinion, their lasting impact is greater than any other group here because of their style, defined by Ronnie Drew's unmistakable voice and Luke Kelly's passionate delivery. It was the most accessible and culturally transferable sound of Irish music. They connected with the ordinary people on a whole other level. They weren't aiming for the technical perfection of other groups like the Chieftains, for example, but instead they captured the authentic, unfiltered crack and spirit of the general public for 5 decades straight, making them the universal benchmark for the entire genre. But tell me your thoughts in the comments. If it was you doing this video, what would your top 3 be? Don't be afraid to tell me that I'm a gobshite and I've gotten it all wrong. It's absolutely alright. I do like to debate, and it is a bit of crack at the end of the day. But it was very difficult to decide between the Chieftains, Clancy Brothers, and the Dubliners in particular, right? They had all achieved so much. All these groups that we mentioned today have massively contributed to Irish music, be it the preservation or even to its evolution, like the Pogues and Horselips. It's worth mentioning that this list is just my own opinion, right? Upon writing and editing this video, I felt a little bit unfair ranking them, even ranking them at all, right? I attempt to do this just to get myself thinking and learning about all of these groups, but also for a bit of fun, which I hope you enjoyed the video, by the way. But all in all, it is unfair to say that one particular group or person is the reason why Irish music is the way it is today. It has always been, and will continue to be, a collective influence from every musician, every person in the country.